Ooh, what's up, Nomads? Camper Dude Joe back with another video. I'm just a regular dude who lives in a car. I'm also a minimalist. I believe in simple living, and I'm also a stroke survivor. So if that sounds like you guys, if you guys are in the same boat and you also want to live in a vehicle or you need to live in a vehicle, follow along with me on my crazy adventures and become a subscriber. So I think this latest video is going to be very, very helpful to a lot of people out there. I know when I first saw this article, it kind of, you know, when you read something or you see something, it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. Well, that's what happened to me when I read this article. You know, at first I thought it was actually too good to be true. Just by nature, that's the type of person I am. But after looking into it a little bit, doing some research, I found out that absolutely not. It is not too good to be true. And that's what we're going to get to today. But, I mean, could you imagine, guys, look right here. Could you imagine living in something like this for $500 a month? And by the way, that includes everything. That includes electric, that includes heat, that includes air conditioning, trash removal, and all of that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is pretty exciting. I know a lot of people like me, you know, they have financial difficulties. That's why they're living in a vehicle. If that is you, if you find yourself out there right now in similar circumstances, even if you're not living in a vehicle at the present, but if you're thinking about it or you're having some financial challenges, you're just broke. This could help you out a lot. So that's what we're going to discuss today, guys. No farting around. Let's get to it, guys. So here's the article itself, guys. As you can see here, got a nice little picture of the house. Now, I'm not sure if this is just a stock photo they're actually using, or if this is an actual house that's on this, included in this community. I believe, and don't quote me on this, I believe that this might be one of the houses that are actually in this community here. But anyway, here you could see, here is the headline, Rustic Retreat inside an up-and-coming tiny home village starting at $500 per month. Utilities are included in private historic area. So scrolling down, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. A tiny home village is offering residents the chance to live in an all-utilities paid community for just $500 a month. Tiny homes have surged in popularity across the U.S. for both cost efficiency and minimalist lifestyle reasons. While a traditional housing unit might cost upwards of $300,000 or more, a tiny home can usually be purchased or built for between $10,000 and $100,000. And you don't have to go into the tiny home lifestyle on your own either. In rural Surrey, Virginia, S-U-R-R-Y, in rural Surrey, Virginia, a tiny home community exists right across the James River, overlooking the historic town of Williamsburg. For just $500 per month, you'll pay access to a no-frills lot in a privately owned RV park. Now, let me repeat that, guys. For just $500 per month, you'll pay access to a no-frills lot in a privately owned RV park. That sounds wonderful. That's why I got so excited when I read this article. But the thing that I'm not clear on is, does the $500 per month include one of these little houses here in the picture? Or does that mean you would have to bring your own tiny home to the lot itself? I'm unclear on that. I actually reached out to the gentleman that owns this community, because his link is here in the article, which I'll get to in a second. He didn't pick up, unfortunately. By the time I made this video, I left a message for him. So I couldn't really clarify that with the owner of this community. So I'm still unsure of that, you know, in and of itself. But here's the thing, guys. Bottom line, even if it doesn't include, you know, a house that's kind of pictured in this photo here. Even if you have to bring your own tiny house, for $500 a month, utilities included, let me put this boldly, that is a steal. Try getting just a studio apartment anywhere in this country for $500 a month with the utilities included. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it would be a very, very tall order. I mean, just to find a studio apartment anywhere in this country is next to impossible. And I mean, even if you could, you would be living in an area that, I mean, you know, you probably don't want to live in, to put it mildly. So, I mean, this community here, I looked it up, rural Surrey, Virginia. Surrey, Virginia is a gorgeous place. I mean, it's pretty empty. It's mostly farmland. You know, they have a couple of stores and, you know, a little town and things like that, but it is pretty rural. But for that type of money to live anywhere, you know, again, that's a steal, in my opinion. So moving on, as you can see here, all utilities, including electricity, water, and trash, are completely covered. 2 tiny homes already exist on the site, but the owner of the land is looking to add more homes to the lot, according to the Tiny House Alliance USA. And by the way, this blue link here, guys, I'll include it in the video description. That is a link to this gentleman's website, the owner of the property. So look for that link in the description if you want to check this out further. Similarly sized homes in the area typically cost between $100,000 and $379,000, according to house listings on Zero Down. You can also bring any pets, and garden and outdoor living areas are welcome. That's fantastic. You know, if you have cats, if you have dogs, if you have iguanas, monkeys, whatever it is, that you're able to bring pets here is pretty spectacular. And you can bring your gardening, your outdoor stuff as well. So that's a big plus in my opinion. Moving on, Surrey is just a 20-minute free ferry ride away from Jamestown and Williamsburg, and offers residents a bank, library, restaurants, gas stations, a farmer's market, and more. Jamestown is in the historic town in which settlers founded the first English settlement in the New World. So a lot of history here, guys. It sounds like a very quaint kind of rural town, so I don't think you can go wrong here based on what the article is saying. Tiny home communities. Several other tiny home communities are in development across the country for those looking to embrace a more minimalist lifestyle. For instance, Seaview West, a village of tiny homes in Wells, Maine, also offers spaces for rent starting at $64 per night. $64 a night is pretty pricey, guys. That would be, just doing my quick math, 10 days would be about $600, sorry, $600 for 10 days. So you'd be looking at $1,800 a night per month. That is, that's pretty pricey in my opinion for a tiny home. So I don't know, you might have to research that a little bit more, but that's a little pricey in my opinion. The main community also offers the potential for long-term living in the community. The village lists 1-bedroom, 1-bath options from $83,000 to $105,000. Canoe Bay Escape Village, meanwhile, is a secluded tiny home vacation community in northwest Wisconsin. There are 8 different sizes of tiny homes available, ranging from 260,000 square feet for $65,000 to a 344 square feet model for $98,000. So this is just going into some of the other tiny home communities out there. I'm not going to go into this too much here, because that isn't really what this article is about. If you want to investigate this, you can surely do that on your own. And then they just have some tips for tiny living here, and that's pretty much it, guys. But the big takeaway here, again, the nuts and bolts, the meats and potatoes of this article here, if you are in a situation where you're currently in a car, or you're thinking about living in a car, or you just can't make your rent, maybe you're in a housing situation where you're very stressed and you just can't do it anymore, I would definitely check this gentleman's community out here. Again, it is the Tiny House Alliance USA. The link is here in the article, but I'll also leave it in the description. But this looks like a very feasible option if anybody is stressed out there and they can't make do. You know, if this article isn't proof, what I've been saying in my videos for months now and on my blog for over a year now, if this isn't proof that people are really, really hurting out there, you know, then what is? You know, these communities are going up primarily because people are feeling the pain out there. You know, they can't afford these ridiculous mortgages. They can't afford these sky-high rents. I mean, it's crazy what's happening out there. And I'm included in that. That's one of the reasons why I live in a car. Yes, these communities also are for people that they might be able to afford, you know, a rent or an apartment, but they might be minimalists like me, or maybe they enjoy the adventure of living a tinier lifestyle. That's a part of it as well. But I think, you know, the bigger picture, if you will, is you're seeing these communities go up because there is a real need for these types of living circumstances for people, guys. And again, I just think you're going to see a lot more of them pop up as we go along. You're also going to see, you know, this trend of living in a car, living in a vehicle, that's going to continue to grow by leaps and bounds as well, regardless of what others may think or feel. You know, again, there's a lot of pain out there. And, you know, living circumstances are extremely challenging and extremely difficult for a lot of people out there. And if you're like me, if you're like one of them, you know, living in a vehicle is definitely an answer to that problem. You can live very, very well in a vehicle for, as I like to say, I live like a king. I live dirt cheap in a vehicle. And I have a future video coming about that, so stay tuned. But yeah, you're going to see videos. You're going to see more communities popping up like this across the country and across the world, guys, because there is a real urgent need for living situations for folks like me and folks like us. So yeah, I mean, look, big round of applause for the gentleman that put this community together. Major props for him, because it's not easy to get a community like this going. There's a lot of rules and a lot of logistics and a lot of red tape involved. So, however this guy that formed this community did it, you know, again, major props to him. But the easy part is this, guys. All you have to do to live in this community is check the link out in the description, check this fella's website out, and who knows, I might help somebody with this video, and you out there in internet land might find housing because of this video. So that's it for today, guys. If you like this content, if you find it funny, if it's enjoyable, if you find it helpful in any way, I would really appreciate it if you guys click that like and subscribe button. Until my next video, I will see you guys soon, and please make the world a kinder and better place.